Hello beautiful people, my name is Bridget and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all having an awesome and safe day. So today's video is going to finally, I'm late to this, okay? I know I'm the last one to do this. It is finally a first impressions kind of review of the Untamed palette by Sigma. Now I am a Sigma affiliate. You can use my link or my code Porcelain10 to save money off Sigma. So just a disclaimer, I am an affiliate with them. I'm never going to hide that from you guys. And if you want to buy it, you can use my link, whatever. But today we're gonna give first impressions of this. I have not seen a palette that intrigued me like unique color story in a while like this one does, because you have such a huge range of colors in here. I think it's really pretty and a good variety. It's not just a warm palette, it's not just a yellow palette, it's not just a green palette, it's not just like a cool tone palette. It is really unique. So today I really wanted to just play with this palette for the first time, put it on my eyes, do a look with you guys, see what I think about it, tell you the quality, show you what I'm doing. And without any further ado, you guys, let's go ahead and get into this video. I know it's gonna be fast, but like, I just wanted to play with some eyeshadow today. That's what I wanted to do. Alright, hi guys. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyes with the Kaleidos Makeup Eye Primer, the Tone Activator Eye Primer. This thing gets super messy. Like, I hate that. I really do. And it's super liquidy, so it just kind of like out everywhere, but it's a good eye primer. I just hate messy stuff. So I'm just going to pat this on with my finger. Alright, so my eyelids are primed, just getting a little bit tacky now. I'm just gonna let it sit for a second. And I think I'm just gonna do like an everyday look for me. I don't think I'm gonna do anything extravagant. I feel like that's been done. I'm a little bit late to the game with this palette anyways, so I'm just gonna do something that I would like do on a daily basis. So the Sigma Untamed palette. It feels good, has velvet on it. The only other palette I've ever had that has velvet on it is like an ABH palette, so this is kind of different. And I'm also deciding to use the brush that comes in here, which I never do, because I really like Sigma brushes, and there's an E38 up here, which is my favorite brush, which is why it's in my Sigma brush set. But it also has a little flat side for the shimmer, so we can test it out with the brush and the finger. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the E38 side. I'm just going to take Docile, which is this kind of cream matte shade. And I'm going to tap off our excess and just buff under our brow bone area. I think that applied fine. You can never really tell with that kind of shade on me, honestly. And it is pretty matte with no kickback, so I had to go in there a second time. But let's go ahead and I cleaned off the brush on my arm. See, on a normal basis, I probably use like the taupe or like maybe this kind of cool tone purpley pink shade, or maybe like this kind of color. But I think like my first instinct to do when I look at this palette is go for the mustard. So I'm going to go for Boho, which is like this mustardy, yellowy kind of shade. I'm not going to tap off our excess because it looks very matte. There's no kickback in the pan with this shade. I'm going to tuck this in the first half of our crease. Oh, she's very pigmented. It's also a little bit darker than I expected. Dipping into this palette, and I looked at my shade I was dipping into, and I looked right above it, and I was like, that gold, wet looking shimmer. It looks wet in the pan, makes me just want to like feel all over these shadows. Like, they look so pretty. There's something about their newest palettes, like Cor de Rosa and Enchanted was like a newer formula for them, and including this one, and I must say I like it better than their other one. Now the Warm Neutrals Volume 2 palette, that's also a good palette, but it's a little bit more of their older formula. These new ones, I'm really enjoying. Like, this looks nice. Like, it's very messy, but like, that's fine, we're gonna fix it up. But I really enjoy it, so I'm gonna tap off the products on my arm again. It actually works out pretty well, and you can just use them like a wipe or something, a paper towel to get it off your arm later if there's too much on your arm. Typically it doesn't bother me. I'm gonna now dip into something I think might be kind of hard to formulate, which is the green. A dark matte green like this can be really patchy sometimes, so I just want to tap in here. I'm gonna tap off our excess and just do our outer crease. Wow, that's really pigmented. Okay. Never mind about like being patchy. We'll see how it blends, but like, so pretty and pigmented. You can also pack it on and then blend it out too if you wanted. I know this looks messy right now, but I'm really feeling it. Like, I'm really loving how cool toned these shadows are. Even for like the mustardy shade, it is a little darker than I wanted it to be. It looks good in the pan, it looks darker on my eyes. But I'm actually really feeling it, and this green is so like cool toned, slightly ashier green, which I kind of live for because everything is usually like, here's your bright forest green. So that's this. I'm gonna clean off our brush and go back into Docile just to clean up the edges. Okay, so I wet the other side of our brush, which is a Sigma E54, which is kind of like a little flat one. So what I want to do now is very lightly damp, not like soaking wet. I want to try 2 of the shimmers. I think this crease looks fine. I don't feel like sitting here and blending it forever to make it perfect, so I'm just going to throw something in our lid, which I normally do to make looks look good. So I'm torn though, because, well, yeah. There's 3 shimmers I want to use. I want to use this like silvery kind of shade, I want to use the green, and I want to use the gold. But I think we're going to skip the shimmery shade. This kind of like cool toned purpley kind of moment with that and this crease color would be so pretty for another look. So I'm going to take Hustle, which is this gold, which looked so pretty above the mustard, and I'll go for the green Envy shade above the green color. So this is what it looks like on the brush, a little bit of kickback in the pan. I'm going to put it on the first half of our lid. That's really pretty. It's just like a so wet looking and not glittery. It's like that metallic foiled kind of shadow. Oh, that looks so good. It looks so good, and there's not much kickback in the pan either. It's really applying well with the brush. So I dried off our brush. I cleaned it off and I dried it off on a paper towel. So we're going to try the brush dry for the green shade. So again, we're going into Envy right here on the dry brush now. Still picked up pretty good. And I'm going to go ahead and put it on the outer lid area into our crease. Now, this palette I'm slightly more hyped up for than I was Enchanted and Cor de Rosa. Now, don't get me wrong, Enchanted has some gorgeous, beautiful duochrome shades. And Cor de Rosa, like, I love every single look I do with that palette, and it's really pretty, and I love the orangey shades in there and like the yellowy orangey shades. Ooh, and that Cor de Rosa signature shade, which is kind of like a taupe kind of color, but like slightly pinkier. So pretty. But for me, this one I feel like it's something I would use more often because there's a lot more different looks I can see with those kind of palettes. The other ones that I mentioned, I typically do like the same kind of look, and don't get me wrong, they're slightly different and I love every single look. This one I feel like there's more inspiration for me. Like, we have these lighter shades that I can use. We have like a slightly pinky kind of purpley shade, but it's not super pink. We have reds and warm tones. We have cool tones, greens. We have a mustard. We have a blue. Like, it's just such a really good variety, and a black and a kind of creamy white shade to make anything blend well together. I'm like really feeling this color scheme, and it's really nice. Not a fan of the velvet on the packaging though. I just think it's fun. It kind of reminds me of an Anastasia palette, like I said, but it's not my favorite thing in the world. Okay, so this is our eye look. It's a little muddy, honestly. I probably could have used less green because I really blended it really far in and it kind of messed with our mustardy moment. But for the lower lash line, I'm going to switch to the E55 shader brush. Also my Sigma brush set, just such a good shader brush. And I mean, our top eyes are pretty light, are pretty dark. So I'm going to go into Loyal, which is this kind of cool tone brown kind of shade. I'm just going to dust it under our lower lash line. I just don't want anything too dramatic down here. Alright, here's my eye look. It could be cleaner, could be prettier, but like, I think it's fine. Like, I don't care. Like, it's too early in the morning for me to be like, let's blend all these colors forever, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to go finish up my face and I'll be right back and show you the finished look because you know lashes fix everything. Alright guys, this is the finished look. What do we think? I think it came together so well. So this is the look up close. I love how foiled and wet and metallic the lid looks. Like, it looks so nice. I keep wanting to look down so you can be like, look at this metallic niceness. But overall, like, looking at it, I think the yellow got lost a little bit just because I drug the green in so far. But like, I really enjoy how the look came out. I think it worked out pretty well. I do find that a little bit of cat hair is sticking to this velvet right now, but I love the color scheme in the inside of this palette. Again, be sure to use my link or my code if you decide to order this palette or anything from Sigma. Honestly, I'd appreciate it. This palette is really, really nice. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an affiliate. Now, I like how matte they are. There's no kickback in the pan, but it did take me one or two, like, it took me more than one dip. It took me like boop, boop to actually get it to pick up on the brush properly. That's my only critique of the palette, honestly. With the dry brush and the wet brush, especially the finger, the metallics are so pretty. The mattes are so good too. And I really love the like different color scheme. This is not a color scheme with like pinks and blues and purples and cool tone greens and mustard. I don't think this color scheme is something I ever would have predicted myself, but I'm super into it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sure this is a fast video, but like, I just wanted to do a simple look with you guys, try the palette out for the first time, and first impressions, I'm really loving it. So if you guys want more looks with this palette. Let me know if you want to see them on Instagram, you want to see tutorials on Instagram, you want to see a 3 looks on palette here on YouTube. Let me know what you want to see, or if you don't want to see that, just don't comment anything. That's cool too. And I will see you in the next video, guys. Have a great day. Bye.